So this computer is actually reading, constantly reading force sensor data or impact data, and it's reading it in g-forces. And so whenever it reads a certain threshold, or when it reaches a certain threshold, it actually activates a solenoid that actually releases air into these stabilizers. And so that's exactly what this is doing. It's slowing down the rate of time, and so your head and neck is actually moving with with the stabilizers instead of it causing that harsh whiplash motion closely associated with concussions. So basically, these lights let you know the severity of an impact that you just received or that a player has received. So it changes colors on the severity of the impact, and so when it reaches certain thresholds, it changes to a certain color. Yes, so I was a wide receiver whenever I was playing, so I knew that the mobility of the head and neck was a very important key to, or is a very important key to a football player. So I did have to come up with a quick release system that would actually be able to rotate with the player's head while he was actually moving. So the player is actually able to rotate his head about 180 degrees in either direction. So the overall goal of this system is to make it as cost effective as possible and as basically as efficient as possible for the football players. That being said, it has to be as light as possible. It has to be as responsive as it can be to these impacts. And so that is basically the end goal, is to have a universal system that not only NFL players and college players are able to afford, but also Pee Wee players, so that any age player can be able to put on their current helmet and shoulder pads.